Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Tower of Babble podcast. As always, I am Julian Mush. I'm joined by Jeremy Cozier.
Hello.
And we are going to be talking about the latest in film and TV news. We got a grab bag of news stories. Nothing too crazy. It hasn't really been that busy news story-wise. But we got a few things we've been watching. And really, we just need to fill time here a little bit because this is episode like 199.5 or bonus episodes, whatever, because episode 200 is just around the corner. You could say, oh, well, this is episode 200, but not really, because there's a bazillion other non-numbered episodes. So we get to make those rules. But yeah, that's the plan for today. Still in Costa Rica, so the setup is a little bit different. The audio might sound slightly different. It should be close enough, though. I think we've kind of dialed it into so it should be the same. I am still broadcasting live, though. We are. I've got my webcam. Jeremy, if you look at the live stream on the YouTube or Twitch, you can find us on twitch.com/ it's twitch.tv/ Tower Babblecast, youtube.com/ Tower Babblecast. It looks like I'm doing like a BBC interview or something. I've got like the most generic background, like I'm in a hotel room style situation. So I don't have a full studio setup situation going, but it is improving. I will say that I've got some big plans for what the future will hold. Anywho, Jeremy, how are you? What's new? How are things?
I am well, but unwell at the same time. A bit sick, I guess. So
you can try not to cough right into the mic. That's what you promised me. Okay,
yeah.
Deal.
I have many liquids here to hopefully prevent that.
Have you had any chicken soup?
No.
That's it. Like, no. Do you believe in the power of soup when you're sick?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Some people don't believe in it. To me, it does seem to help. I don't know what the science is behind that, but fair enough. Okay. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we get into all the fun stuff. I mentioned this. I recorded an episode with Rachel for Small Screen Star Wars last week, I believe. And one of the things that we announced on that show, so this is now coming, I guess, late to this version of the show, is that we are on Blue Sky. Jeremy, are you on Blue Sky yet?
No.
Are you? Do you think you'll go? Do you think you'll migrate over?
Not sure.
Have you been following the discourse of the exodus?
Not at all.
From Twitter? Okay. Well, for those who might not be paying attention, who aren't chronically online, like I am, which is definitely bad for my mental health. I can admit that. I can be a grown man and admit that. Anyway, Twitter / X has become just really, really intolerable. I think many people who are on there probably realize that. So I guess last week, the numbers at Blue Sky have just been like ticking up about 1 million people a day. It's still well below half the user base that Twitter is, but I will say we did set up a Tower of Babble account there, so you can find us. The Tower of Babble Podcast. I think if you search that, you should find us. The handles aren't quite as, I don't think, straightforward as they were on X / Twitter. But anyway, find us there. It's really quite wholesome of a community. Jeremy, do you remember what Twitter was like in like 2012? Remember that golden era where everyone was just nice to each other, and there was a lot of inane conversation about nothing, but at least it wasn't angry. You remember any of that?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I don't read into it too much. Like, I'm not on there all the time, I guess, but I don't know.
I will say this. I've enjoyed my time on Blue Sky a lot more than I have on X / Twitter over the last few years. I feel a lot better about when I read it. I just don't feel like shit usually. Wow. Like I do after reading X stuff. So that is nice. I will say I'm not as good. It's not as good at delivering me news that I save for the podcast. The algorithm on Twitter was pretty good at delivering me that stuff. The Blue Sky is not algorithmic, so that's good and bad. I follow the similar and same accounts, but in a lot of cases, if I'm not on at the right time, I'm not seeing the stories. I see them occasionally, but I'm just not seeing them as much. I think that'll change. I think I just need to tailor my own feed a little bit. They say that on Blue Sky that if you have a bad experience, it's really your own fault because it's really just your own follower, like the people you're following, and there's really no other magic to it. If you're not following good people, you're not going to have a good experience. So anyway, if you're looking to follow some good people, I encourage you to follow myself. I'm on there, Julian Misch, but also and Rachel's on there. But again, the show, Tower of Babble Podcast, is on Blue Sky. I encourage you to come over and join that conversation. And if you're looking for something a little bit less public, you can join our Discord. There is a little bit of a catch on that, though, which is that the Discord is exclusive to our patrons. We do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Tower Babblecast, where for your small membership fee, you get access to the Discord, as I mentioned, but also to the monthly film club. Jeremy, this was your pick, although you weren't on the last episode. You, by the way, speaking of which, film club, last month for Christmas, we did Lost Boys, which is an 80s vampire movie. Jeremy, you said you did you say you fell asleep watching it, or what happened?
Yeah, or I just got busy or something. It was a slow burn, I guess, that one. I didn't get into the meat of it, so just couldn't quite get there with it.
It was too late.
Maybe next Halloween season.
Yeah,
I'll throw the 4K in there.
Well, yeah. So you got the 4K. Did you get the 4K in anticipation of this, or that?
No, I had originally.
I just
got it. Yeah. Just came across it. Price is right.
Where are you? The price is right. Are you saying it doesn't like? Are you? How do I rephrase this question? Are you curating your 4K movie collection? And if so, how? Or is it just like whatever is a good
It's just
deal?
whatever I just think looks like a movie I want, and maybe a good deal too. So
like a nice cover, good packaging.
Well, the movie too.
Movie
like
you've heard of before,
movie.
ideally.
Yeah. It's just my own personal. It's just personal taste. You can't really define that, I guess. I don't know.
No, I mean, some people like to say, "Oh, I'm only going to collect all the Criterion 4Ks or whatever."
No, mine's just a huge mixture.
There's no wrong way to collect.
Yeah, mine is just a big mixture of everything.
How do you know when you're done?
There's like moments where you just feel like you have so much, like you just have like a wide variety. No, you just have a wide variety. You've hit like you've hit all the major trilogies, let's say, right? Like Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, right? You can list so many, and if you have a decent percentage of that, or like some of the really big ones, or the very revered ones, then that feels like you've completed something there, and then you can just slowly add to that, whether it's like just another I don't know. I just when I see it, it's just like, yeah, I want that in there.
Right.
It's just personal taste, really.
How big was your DVD collection?
It was probably like two or three office boxes, I would say, full. From back in the day.
What's an office box? That's like
just a banker's box
when you clear out your desk. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing that in the movies when you clear out your desk when you're fired.
Well, you just buy it at Walmart, just like a 4-pack of cardboard that you fold. Right. You make the box. Everyone knows what that is.
Right. Okay. I think I get it. Would you say that where is your 4K collection in comparison to your DVD collection at this point?
Well, I don't really separate the 4K from the Blu-ray. So I consider the 4Ks and the Blu-rays all as one. But then if you have that one movie you want to watch and it's in 4K, that's just a bonus.
Right.
But if you have it in Blu-ray, that's perfectly fine. It's just if it's a movie like The Terminator and there's a new 4K remaster, it's like, okay, that's when you think about, okay, I want to watch Terminator, but there's a new 4K out, so that's when I got that. And then watching that,
this 4K version of Terminator.
Yeah, I watched that one. amazing, insane.
So
The quality is just unbelievable.
is you think that the visual is this the Terminator 4K, is this getting the same treatment that T2 got, like the AI
Yeah, but I think
upscaling?
what I understand from some of those like Twitter like Blu-ray people,
the nerds,
that like well, there's like people who like
yeah.
it's like their job. They just like order them in and sell them or something. But
I don't know.
they were mad that the film grain or like some of the original kind of like tone or feel of James Cameron's movies was like ruined with making it look too like removing the grain and making it too clean, something like that. And then but apparently the Terminator, like the grain is there, like just enough of it. But there's like
Right.
AI grain they can do too. So I'm not like that snobbery and like I'm comparing the differences. I just, when it's on my TV playing through the PS5, I just know it's going to be the best if it's a 4K.
Do you feel like if you put on like a Blu-ray and then the 4K next to each other, do you think you'd be able to tell the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you in like, so for Terminator specifically?
Oh yeah. There was like moments where it's like, this is like modern day feeling, like you feel like you're in the frame, so crystal clear. Like it was just just nuts.
How do you feel about film grain in general? Are you pro film grain?
I don't know. It just depends on the movie, really.
Yeah. I just think of something like
how grounded it is,
Heat or something.
Yeah, Heat. You want it,
or Godfather.
Yeah,
where like the film grain is so, I feel like, pardon the pun, ingrained, in that experience, that to like remove it, I feel like Terminator maybe is the same way. I don't know. I haven't seen Terminator in a long time. As everyone knows, T2 is a superior Terminator movie, which I typically
but like I almost, but yeah, like to me that's it might be my favorite movie too. But I like the blockbuster nature of it, like this modern blockbuster, like this is it. So to have that clean
the T2
cut,
or the T1?
T2 for me. So to have that clean, that if it's less film grain, because I haven't compared the two, then I think that's fine though. Like, because it's just so iconic and big, colorful, and just never ending and epic. So but when I have the 4K of that one, I have the 4K of that one.
Yeah.
And it looks great. But people complain about it. I don't know what they're saying. But there are, I guess there are moments, there's a couple moments where like, I guess there's like the blue isn't as blue or something anymore. It's more like,
it's so
paled
weird.
Out. It's like paled,
do you
but
think
it's still
if you weren't
HD.
Do you think if you weren't reading these people on Twitter that are, true, like the true nerds, right? Like the digital like the equivalent of Digital Foundry to video games.
Yeah, those guys are the best
in video games, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like that, but for movies. So
yeah, but then I can tell. I can tell through. No, I would know, but you still need the pictures to see online to see a quick comparison. So with Terminator 2, you can see the blue. It's definitely different,
right?
So that is like, in terms of nostalgic purposes or just the original intent, it's lost there. But if the director is fine with it, he did it, then it's like it should be okay. Because like you're always gonna like change. You're gonna want to change things sometimes too. Like if you can.
If you're George Lucas, certainly, right?
Well, re-releases, directors can come back and they can kind of like do a little different cut or spruce it up somehow.
Should we? So this is a story from May. I don't remember if we talked about it, but James Cameron at that point said that he was writing a new Terminator movie. I guess he got the rights back to Terminator, I guess, sometime recently.
I think there was like a few, like 3 stories over the year or so about some sort of new initiative with James Cameron and Terminator, but I don't think anything really as of late has come to fruition.
Well, my understanding, he's been involved with some of the stuff that's happened. Like the last movie that was made, what was that? Not Genesis. Was it Genesis? Anyway,
Might have been.
one of the last movies he was involved as
Didn't see
producer
it.
somehow. And then I know that's so Jeremy, that's so crazy. Just because I know you're
Yeah,
such a
it's
big
so
Terminator
based.
fan. Yeah.
So based though, really.
You think because you're like, I don't need to see it because the originals are still there. That's your who needs
No,
new
just
stuff.
like if I'm to look outside at my choice there, I just think it's like, yeah, nobody gives a shit about Genesis. What are you talking about?
Well, it's fun to look at.
And then on top of that, the
filmography.
is it Edward Furlong, the T2's John Connor? I think they like screwed him over in some capacity where they took his likeness, like CGI'd him for like a different time where Arnold's Terminator like kills him or something, like a different
Oh
timeline.
yeah, I think that's right. I remember vaguely that being a story.
But then Sarah Connor comes back. What's her name? Like, and then because I think Edward Furlong was on a podcast talking about it, and like how it was pretty damaging to him, like through like his whole career, really being a child
Well, I guess
actor.
if that's
Being
like what
famous
you're
that young.
mostly known for, right? And then you're not brought
Yeah.
back for that, it'd be like, because like we think about, like, we talked about this a lot, but the modern, the very new concept of like replacing or digitally inserting actors entirely, or de-aging and all that stuff, right? That's relatively new, right? And sometimes we think, oh, it's so amazing, we can like recapture the past in some ways, like the last turn, Indiana Jones, that had a whole sequence with a de-aged Harrison Ford, right? But it is bullshit when it's like, okay, well, we're going to recapture the past, but we're going to use this new technology to to essentially not invite back actors that we who maybe are not as famous.
Yeah,
or
so
maybe
this
don't
is a
have as much
prime
clout.
example right there of kind of before its time, really, where it was like, really well known that, or the strike even and all that stuff. At a time where that he could have used something like that
Yeah, he probably
to
could use
bolster
that
his
paycheck,
career.
right?
Yeah, but yeah, I
It's
think
like,
I
if you're
seen
going
him
to write the
on.
scene with the guy in
I
it,
think I
put the
seen
guy in it.
him. I
You know
think I
what I mean?
watched him on like Steve-O's podcast or something. So he's pretty open about his
That's
struggles
funny.
and mental health and like drugs and whatnot. And like, because to me, it's like he's such a crazy part of that second movie. You know what I mean? Essentially being the main character. But
Well, I guess so. Go ahead.
I mean, so what was the topic that you brought up though? Like,
Oh, I was just meant that I just found it interesting that we can use this technology to benefit actors, but we can also use it to screw them over, and it's kind of bullshit. I guess my general question is, if T2 is maybe your favorite movie, having seen the 4K of T1 more recently,
oh yeah,
how does the first movie stack up?
I totally get the people who say the Terminator is the best. Like I jump on that when I'm watching it too, to be honest. Like it's
Really,
it's just so much tighter.
just a very different vibe, right?
Very simple. It has the horror vibe to it. The tension is insane. Very easy setup. You know what I mean? Even though it's the sci-fi, because I think it was like a $5 million budget, and James he knew he needed to bring something new, in terms of like into the environment that he could like cheaply just film in. So it'd either be an alien or a cyborg or something like that, like a fusion. So that's kind of like where it came from. So it's just the concept is just so well executed in the first one. The second one is just that the proof of concept, just really doubling down on it, and then utilizing that there's a first one to twist the second one on its head and have all these role reversals, and then continue that like never ending kind of end where you think you won, no, too bad, he's back. You think you won, no, too bad.
Actually, speaking of time travel, I should finish this plug. Film Club for this month, the month of November, which will probably be a little bit late because I'm traveling on the 28th, is also time travel movie. This is a movie from Gregory Hoblet, Frequency, from the year 2000. So that is next up. Jeremy and I will be discussing Frequency. That's Jeremy's pick, so you can't blame me for this one. But he's been pretty spot on with his picks, so we'll see if he hits this one also, if this one's another home run. Is Frequency a movie you've seen before, Jeremy, or is it
I have.
okay? And you liked it, obviously.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
You would never subject. Would you ever purposely subject the show to a movie you did not like?
No, of course not. What's the point of that?
Okay, I didn't think so. You don't seem like the type of person who would ever put on a movie you didn't like ever again.
Yes.
Is that fair to say? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm like sometimes I look back when we've seen like was it Rise of Skywalker or whatever. I remember like trying to get rid of the tickets because they were like pre-bought or something, like pre-bought like another showing or something or
yes,
different theater.
Yes, I do remember this.
And we're at like Adam's house or something, and I was like trying to like give them away for free or something. Like I was so tired, and I knew it. Like, I basically just like had to stay awake, and then I think I fell asleep at some point.
There's like no way you can make me watch this movie again without like this being a
probably my most uncomfortable watch. Yeah.
Okay.
I also fell asleep during The Dark Knight, though, my second viewing. It was like a really late showing, and it was like excruciating.
Midnight, maybe, potentially, because they were doing midnight shows still back then, right? Crazy that they didn't that they did that and didn't come up with the idea of just moving it back to 10 o'clock. No. I get it, but also it's like, you guys, come on. None of us had the imagination to figure that one out.
For employees to like stay that late.
Yeah, it's like they're going to be up to like, it's a 2.5 hour movie. They're there to like 3:30 in the morning. Like they work at the bar, but it's just a fucking movie theater employer. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Nope, don't get to drink on the job in that scenario. Even like what a brutal. Okay, so your most uncomfortable watch you think is what exactly in the movie theater? Rise of the Skywalker round 2?
Oh yeah, or even the first one.
Sick? Or you it
just sucked. I just felt trapped.
Yeah, okay, that's funny. I tell you about. Have you ever been like super sick at a movie theater before?
Ever what, sorry?
Like have you been like ill? Like you need to you're sick. You need to go.
Yeah, maybe like holding back a lot of coughs. Actually, like you don't have halls with you or whatever, and your drink's empty, and then you just have to like pack a lung.
Here's what the new
pee. Like I think I remember I held my pee for all of Uncharted. Like I had to go like from the beginning.
The movie? That's so wild. That movie's not worth it. You could have gone to go pee at any time.
Yeah, I know. I just felt like so uncomfortable, like getting up and like having to go. I don't know.
You should have left when they stabbed Antonio Banderas in the back and no blood. There was no blood at all.
So brutal.
He got stabbed in the chest. It was so bad.
Like, what the hell is this? Like they just lured us in and tricked us again.
Yeah. They're like, we put a brand that and the thing is they didn't even was the theme song even in that movie featured prominently, like the banger.
I think it was
main title sequence.
Okay. I think it was, because it's kind of a weird experience, right? It's almost like you're just seeing like a highlight reel of like what we know and love and experienced long ago, and it's like these famous actors like just portraying these roles that like we were already like, this doesn't make any sense.
What's Marky Mark doing here?
Yeah, and then the whole thing is he was so aged out.
No sense.
He was so aged out because he was originally Nathan.
Yeah,
that he turned into Sully, but he still wasn't old enough. But then we walked out of that movie actually laughing at their interactions and their banter, and just
it's a lot of it's a lot of the classic
Wahlbergisms, but it's tied in with the Sully, just like saying, a classic Sully line as well. A little bit, but then him was mostly just being annoyed with Tom Holland though as well. So it's almost like a cross between like SNL and like a PlayStation commercial.
Yeah, it's as if SNL did a PlayStation commercial for.
Yeah, because those PlayStation commercials are so epic. They're like pound for pound some of the best like video game, or
it's up there with the Halo live action commercials for sure.
Right, or the Gears of War Mad World.
Yeah.
Even though that's not live action, just like the feeling that it emotes, right?
Yeah.
And those PlayStation ones are just stunning because like you don't really get those characters in live action.
Yeah, I mean it's like the Metroid Prime live action Samus commercials. Those are fucking badass. But
then it eventually just turned into like all-star battle royale type, like this is Sony, like we're trying to be like Nintendo, and then it just didn't. Sackboy.
Yeah.
And now it's not like magical anymore. It's like, I don't know.
No, they've abandoned Sackboy. They said, "Fuck Sackboy, you
They got the
suck."
new guy.
And now they have
Got the
Astrobot in his playroom and stuff, etc. Do you remember the what was their spokesman character that they had for the PlayStation commercials? Butler, something?
Dude, yeah, Kevin Butler, maybe.
Kevin, that sounds right.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Those were so I kind of want to go back and just like rewatch those because those are so funny. One of the ones that I distinctly remember in my head, which was like it was like, "Dear Sony, my girlfriend thinks that we're watching a movie," and it was Uncharted
God of War
2.
3.
Was it God of War 3?
I think it might have been God of War 3. Yeah.
And I just think that I remember thinking that's so like just the concept of that is just a funny little skit idea that they kind of like.
And then that guy like got hired by like other companies and like did the same thing or something.
And then
I want to say that there was
Sony
like a lawsuit,
abandoned
maybe.
him because they're like we don't need this. It's confusing, and we had a good thing going here. Like, is there any reason he shouldn't still be coming around like once a year? Kevin, like, why can't we just get a funny character like this to like pop in and give us a little like state of the Sony situation?
Yeah, well, that would be just like one of those like, he's back. Like,
well, yeah, now
it's
it
a
would
meme.
Be.
It was a meme before a
right.
meme.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? It was this like Spike TV days type thing.
Yeah, video games are serious now. Okay, we can't be joking around.
Well,
okay,
they just take too long to make, and they're super expensive, and they get critiqued to shit, and then they don't sell.
Isn't it a shame? The whole and then like it's like if it's not like a perfect 10, people get upset, and then if it is a perfect 10, there's people also get upset. It's like it I don't know. The video game world it's fun to pay attention
look at
to.
Cyberpunk. If you pay attention to that lately, it's like the craziest game of all time, which is like kind of what it was promised to be, and like people are having like crazy times with that game.
Really?
But when that launched, though, it was like completely broken. Like there was like a crazy historic launch, right? Like refunds.
Oh yes, I remember that. I was a sucker, Jeremy. They suckered me.
Yeah.
I bought that copy of the PS4 version at launch, and it was unplayable. And
that's the business side of it, right? That was the talk around the video game industry with Crunch, and then you have that Jason Schreier, like revealing all these stories around video game. Yeah. Or they're just like his journalism that he does that aren't necessarily hit pieces.
Well, it's investigative journalism. You're right. It's not fair.
It could be. I don't know.
It's not fair to call it a hit piece. They're not. He was investigating. Serious.
But it also is his like career, so it could be something to that effect, to where
I guess I think he comes at it from a good place, though. Don't you think?
But there's always stories from any workplace though, where there's like people don't get along, and then there's just two different narratives or stories.
Yeah, that's true.
Game cancellations or firings or new hires. So there's a lot of drama, obviously, in those. And then
how do you feel about
what?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and then the gaming crunch thing though is like I feel like long hours like definitely feels like a real thing because we've heard it so much.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So,
I mean,
and then with the botch release of Cyberpunk, it's like that's what I mean. It's like the game is probably like amazing now, but it was just like trash from the beginning.
And I have a hard time, like obviously there's the classic quotes about like a bad game is bad forever, etc. That's not true anymore, right? A good game, like a bad game, can be fixed, but I think it does feel a bit like just a shame that like there was a time, and yes, there was human hours sacrificed, people's lives were sacrificed for this to happen. But games came out and they were finished and they were done, and we got to play them and they were awesome. Like, I don't remember there being any game breaking bugs, even as like recently as something like Uncharted 2. Obviously, Naughty Dog setting a very high standard, but even that era, I don't feel like there was huge, that's even 10 years ago now, massive, game changing patches day one. Like, okay, so I'm gonna pull this full circle. Uncharted, the movie. I was thinking about it literally last week. Before you brought it up, I was thinking about that movie because I watched the movie, the Chris Hemsworth vehicle, Extraction, the first one from Netflix. Have you seen that movie?
I have not.
Okay, you're familiar with the concept. Okay, it's got super long one shots, at least one super long one shot. This is a movie from 2020. By the way, starring Chris Hemsworth. He's kind of playing like He's playing an Australian, which is, I think, something he doesn't, I feel like, get to do very often. Written by Joe and Anthony Russo, directed by Sam Hargrave. It's awesome. You know, I have no real gripes with it. It's like a pure, like, action movie. It reminds me of like 80s action with just the amount of like pure chaos and stuff that's going on, with like a much more modern flair. But the reason I thought about Uncharted is because in the movie Extraction, Chris Hemsworth is like a military badass, right? And so he is constantly picking up and using different weapons until they run out of bullets and then taking other ones. And then also a lot of like close quarters, hand-to-hand combat. To be honest, and like I know this is a joke from the Uncharted games and stuff, like, oh wow, it's crazy how many people Nathan Drake just mows down in bullets in those games, right? Just a mass murderer, right? But it's like you don't think about that because it's just like a fun romp and like the music's fun and everyone's cracking jokes, right? But in Extraction, it's not that different. There's the body count, Jeremy, is through the roof. It's like it's got to be hundreds and hundreds of people get shot and killed in this movie. Lots of violence. I wouldn't say over the top like gory violence. It's more stylized violence, but needless to say, there is some crazy stuff with like knives and people being shot and stuff. No doubt. I was thinking, and this is, you need to maybe see the movie because to like really pick up what I'm putting down here, but essentially Extraction is closer to an Uncharted movie, especially if you consider like the combat sequences, than the Uncharted movie ever was, minus the humor. It just needs to be funnier. But like it's, you know, you're going through exotic locations, you're mowing down bad, and like the way the bad guys are dressed, they all just look like generic, like they're all wearing balaclavas and helmets and like they look like Uncharted bad guys. That you're just like taking out, you know, one giant shotgun blast at a time. So here's my advice to you, Jeremy. Go watch Extraction. It's on Netflix. It's awesome. Just as a pure action movie.
I think I watched the long take, and that was about it.
Which is like, even the long take is like half an hour. So
even, you know, the Gray Man with Ryan Gosling, it was like, I guess the first one or two action sequences were okay, and then like once they got like they weren't that good, I just stopped watching.
Man, you have a like really low threshold for like when you disengage from a movie. Do you, like, is the threshold equally as low to start a movie? Like, are you just throwing shit on and then like walking away from it if you're not feeling it?
No.
So you're making a conscious decision to start a movie, and then halfway through you're like, fuck this, I'm done.
I just remember it from the Gray Man and Extraction.
I remember you talking about the Gray Man. I remember you telling me how I feel like you told me it was very boring. Like that was your big takeaway. It was like these are the great directors from the Avengers movies, and they're making just the most dull, generic stuff that they possibly could, you know, with these big movie stars, in, you know, for Netflix. And that just, I think we talked maybe a little bit at the time about the Netflixification of stuff just feeling less valuable. A Netflix movie just feels like it's going to be less good than a non-Netflix movie. And I don't know why that is yet, or just maybe it's because they've established a culture of low quality, but I think they're trying to fix it.
Except for that Menendez Brothers show.
Right. Did you watch that? You did, right? We talked about it. Yeah. Yes, I think they are truly trying really hard to like revive their brand a little bit from a quality perspective. Anyway, so I haven't seen Extraction 2. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, my thinking is that it would, the way that they made Extraction, just put in a few more puzzles, a little bit more humor, cast an actual Sully Sullivan, and you could even have Chris Hemsworth be Nathan Drake for all I care, and it would still work. Obviously, I feel like you could maybe do better than that for Nathan Drake casting, but still. Okay, so that's something I've watched recently. We've talked about Terminator 4K. We've talked about Extraction. Jeremy, do you want to hear about Godzilla -1?
I think I watched some of that too.
Because it just came to Netflix recently, right?
No, I watched it a while ago.
Like last year.
Whenever
Did you
it came
buy
out.
the 4K or something?
No, I think I just downloaded it or something.
Mm. Did you finish that movie, or was it because it
No,
was too boring?
No, it just went on a little too long.
Okay, it is. I will agree. It is long.
And like the effects are really good, but it's like they're not that good, but it's like really good, like consistently, like throughout the whole thing, and it's like it's good enough.
It looks like it fits well enough, but you also know that you're
aware. CG. So
yeah.
I thought I was when I was gonna, or why I was enticed to watch it was I didn't think you would know or whatever.
Well, it won best special effects at the Oscars. Yeah.
But so I think I just kind of leaned into that, like just knowing like, okay, these are just very well done effects and like a really modest budget and like just a cool way they did it.
And then remember they said they wouldn't tell. They're like, we're not going to tell anyone how we did it.
Like yeah, something like that. Like Steven Spielberg was like amazed by it and like has a bunch of quotes about it.
And they're like, yeah, it's a secret. We'll never tell. It is pretty cool. I watched the color version and I watched it subtitled, and then I put on like one or two sequences of the black and white version, and I was like, okay, I get it. I feel like it's a hard sell to watch the black and white version of something like immediately after the color version. I don't know. Maybe that's the perfect time to watch it, but I feel like I'm not always super excited to jump right back into a movie right after I finish it. Like I don't think I would ever start a movie over after watching it once. Have you done that?
I did.
You started you watched Justice League back to the 4-hour
Justice is great.
Justice League cut.
Correct.
The black and white version.
Yes.
Immediately after the color version. And what was your experience? Like, what was that experience like? Was that?
Well, I didn't finish it. I didn't finish it right after immediately, but no, it's just really cool. It's just like such a throwback. Like everything is just so cohesive and just dark and like, but also pops and it looks just more like, not like more art. I guess it is more artsy because it's like such a bold choice.
It's definitely artsy. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
But it's just cool when we're like thinking like for that, like that film in particular. I don't know. Just cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like your eyes are drawn to different things when things are in black and white, right? So you kind of just see the movie a little differently. But anyway, I thought Godzilla -1 was pretty great. I watched it on the projector here, Jeremy. I have the projector set up here in Costa Rica, and I will say I'm very impressed by projectors. So you know how I was a big proponent of the OLED, still am, no doubt. You're not going to get crispier blacks, inky blacks than you will with an OLED. But I will say, it is pretty fucking sweet. It is pretty fucking sweet to watch something in 100 inches at home, like full, huge, like as big as the screen as possible. My dad,
different level of immersion.
Bless him. It's so funny. He always does this kind of stuff, but it's like he sat down and he was like, "It's too big." he's like, I have to try. I feel like I have to turn my head to watch like something go from one side of the screen to the other. I'm like, that is not true. It's not that big. You can definitely see the whole screen. It's like you're sitting front row of the movie theater is what he said, which again, very funny to me. Because of course they've literally redesigned movie theaters so that no one has to have that experience anymore. So it's a throwback experience, really.
It's not a good one.
Would you ever do it again?
I don't remember what movie I did. I don't remember what it was, but definitely sucked.
Here's what I would say. I've said that a couple times.
What would you say? I'd used it a lot.
I know. I got to stop doing it. I'm just real. I noticed it at that moment. The one place you definitely still can have that really crappy front row experience is an actual IMAX screen. Because if you're not sitting in like the
you did it for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, yeah, but that's not even a true IMAX screen. I'm talking about like a legitimately true IMAX screen with the curved seating, right? If you were on the bottom row, you genuinely need to move your head. Like that's not even like it's not like, oh, you can get by. No, you literally have to move your head around to see the whole screen. Now, someone might be really into that style, like that immersive of a thing. But I think if you were watching a 2.5-hour movie like Oppenheimer in full IMAX, you wouldn't want to be in the front row. It's just not going to be a good experience for you. So, but otherwise, I mean, they've completely redesigned. I can't believe a little bit inside baseball, but I can't believe that the Silver City like Polo Park location is like still, they're not renovating it. Everything else is getting renovations, but that one is just not. It's not getting the love, because Silver City Saint Vitel is got replaced all of their screens from traditional stadium seating and put in that like multi-leveled. No, there really is no true front row situation anymore. Like the front row is when you walk in, and then the second row is like 10 feet up above that. Of the obviously the recliner seat is like the new standard for movie theaters, but yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for the future of movie theaters. I would just like it to come to the movie theater that's closest to me, if I can say that, a little selfishly. Jeremy, where are you feeling on the state of movie theaters right now? Are you feeling good? Are you enjoying your experiences when you go to the movies?
I don't know. I mean, I don't go that often.
Is it too expensive, or just you? It's just that the fact
just
that
depends on the movie.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
I don't get a subscription or like you did or whatever.
Yeah, but they stack. Like it's not like I'm losing out if I don't go, every month.
Yeah, but you end up going more often than you probably should.
Like, what do you mean by should? I love seeing movies. Is that
I guess
to go see them? If I go see them too many movies in a year, it's too many. How do you classify
that's
too
many?
That's what
you want to do. That's what you want to
do. You're right, Jimmy. You're right. I could be spending that time building a family. You're right.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just bugging you. Okay, let's talk about a couple little bits of news. So this is a mini agree or disagree. Okay. Elizabeth Olsen says that Marvel films keep theaters able to pay the rent. This is obviously in relation to the movie theater conversation we're having. She says, quote, "I think streaming is sometimes the only option for small films to be seen. I just don't have an interest in making something with the intention of knowing it's for streaming," unquote. How do you read that quote? It feels like she wants to have her cake and eat it too in this scenario, or she's big timing everyone at the same time. I don't know. To me, it seems like she's saying, listen, I get that streaming movies have their place, but I don't want to make those movies. Is that fair to say? I mean, maybe, she can say whatever she wants, obviously, but how do you take that?
I don't know. I think when I heard this, I just was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't really care.
Well, I guess you can focus on two things. I'm focused. I, for some reason, gravitated towards this kind of like big timer attitude of like not being interested in making movies for streaming. It could be that's not how she means it, but it kind of comes off that way, at least in text. But the other thing you could focus on in this little blurb is that she feels that Marvel films help keep theaters open. That helps them pay the rent.
Yeah, I mean, it's the present day, the big thing, right? When the last Spider-Man movie came out, or whatever big
those
Marvel movie,
movies.
You always show up, right? They still make that money,
right? Deadpool, Wolverine. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're saying you go to the movies less often. I don't know. Maybe that, like, I don't. The impression that we're made to believe, I think that is kind of pushed, the narrative that is pushed by, like the media, the not to say the media, but like the press people who follow Hollywood, etc., and the theater and the directors and all them themselves, is that movie theaters aren't doing well and that we need to help save them. But ultimately, that usually just comes down to you need to go see more movies, even if the movie experience isn't that great. But then you hear from directors like James Cameron who talk about, well, I want to make movies that people want to go to the movie to see and that they have to see in the theater to make it worth their while. And it's like all about the spectacle of it. For me, it's hard to square the circle. Like again, coming back to, Joe Consumer or Julian Mush, how much should I care about like how well a movie theater business is doing versus just saying like, what'll happen, and I have no part to play.
I think at this point you should just not care anymore.
Just let it die. Let the past die. Kill
just
it if you have
see your movies and just stop worrying about the business.
Do you wish things like, I think that's easy to say. I think that it's easy to say, but then what if you're there and you're like, man, I wish this was cheaper. That is thinking about the business to some degree, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've had our conversations over particular movies that drive that point home, with like Furiosa or whatever, but it's out of our control. It's it's going to shift and change with the times, and streaming is the new thing. But obviously, these directors and these artists want to make them for the theater. It's where it begins. So,
what if your individual contributions, Jeremy, is what was holding back the tide, right? Like if more people felt like you about just saying, fuck it, I'll just go to see the big movies, which I bet, by the way, I think it's not a big stretch. I think that's most people
to see the big movies, that way. But I'm not saying that.
We'll just see whatever you want to see.
I'm seeing what I want to see.
Yeah.
I saw Furiosa. Your point that you're making,
when no one saw nobody saw that movie.
You're trying to make me into the nobody saw, but I'm not.
I didn't say that. I know. I was at the movie theater with you. We were in awe together, Jeremy. I'm saying it does feel like what the general audiences are saying is that they just want to see the big movies in theaters and that everything else is not for that experience. And I think that's what Elizabeth Olsen is saying to some degree, right? She's kind of saying like, well, some movies are designed, in this modern space, that's where they need to be, right? But again, I'm not going to make them. That's not what I'm going to make. I just think it's funny. It's a little bit of a hypocrite there. Are you, Jeremy, ready for Daredevil Born Again? Is this something like that gets you excited? Is it going to get you out of bed in front of that TV weekly?
I think I want to tune in because I just like the character, and I think it's a really cool story how they kind of brought everybody forward, even though they had their little stumble there with, I guess, bringing half the cast back, and then also their tone or whatever they shot just wasn't gelling with Mr. Kevin Feige, I'd imagine, and that whole team there at Marvel. So I think it'll be sweet. I think it, but there's also a part of me too that like I do want something kind of fresh and new with that whole world. But I'm also into all the original X-Men coming back and kind of finalizing their thing. So I think that right there kind of goes against itself there. But
well, I mean, I think if you're looking for something fresh and new out of Daredevil, it's going to be that it's now really fully in the MCU. I feel like that'll be I think that's going to make it feel different, right?
I mean, have you seen the trailer at all? Or?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so sick. It looks so sick. Yeah.
I wasn't super like hype on it, but
I mean, the suit looks good. Seeing Wilson Fisk back is sick. Obviously, Jeremy, we talked a lot about, I think you especially were like obsessed with Vincent D'Onofrio's performance as Kingpin. If I recall, back in, season 1, season 2, it was just like, you're just like blown away.
It's a strong word, but sure.
It's my recollection. That's just, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember hearing from you.
I mean, he's definitely very good.
Here's the blurb on the state of the show. It says, it's set a few years after the events of the original series. By the way, I never finished the 3rd season. That's maybe something I'll need to go back and do before this new series comes out. I know it introduced Bullseye, but I could not tell you a single detail about what happened at that point. Like it was just like that was lost in the maze of like all the Defenders stuff. And I remember, Jeremy, you were
You're watching
so
Arrow.
we were watching Arrow. I remember you being so mad at Iron Fist at being like, this show is so
mad.
brutal.
No, that's not what happened.
Sorry, what was it then? How did it?
I didn't even watch it. You were mad that I wasn't going to give it a chance, or that I was just talking down on it, and then you guys watched it, and then you're like, okay, another case of where I was right.
Yeah, you guessed correctly and that it was going to be shitty.
I just knew.
It was bad, and Defenders almost like it basically ended all those shows. And there's some really good episodes that, I'm not going to rehash all the stuff. Too many episodes, they were too long, got bogged down in all these like side character stuff, and you really just wanted to see your hero kicking ass more often. And there was a lot of, it really felt like traditional. It actually did feel a lot more like Arrow and like the stuff that CW was doing, right? Like very interpersonal drama heavy
Luke Cage.
Stories. Yeah. And Luke Cage the first season of Luke Cage is great. It's so good.
Yeah, like, but it was a little too long or something like that. I think that one. But I think it was still only like 8 episodes only.
No, it was like 18 episodes.
No.
Yeah, they were long seasons back then. Yeah. I think the second season of Luke Cage is only like 8 episodes. But again, it's all cyclical, because I remember now we're talking about 6 episode seasons, and you're like, it's not long enough. People yearning for the days of the 10 episode season, which is obviously the sweet spot. Even the Penguin was only 8 episodes, which is a real bummer, because that show was fucking awesome. What was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. Oh, Daredevil Born Again. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. I've been watching the Marvel shows, keeping up to date, doing my homework. I know that people don't like to term it that way, as like having to think about doing your homework, but if doing my homework consists of watching a 45-minute Marvel program about lesbian witches, then okay. I'm willing to make that
second. Isn't that in Star Wars?
No, well, it's both. Agatha all along. Pretty good show, actually. Pretty funny, I think. Had its moments. Sticking with the Marvel stuff for a second, Kevin Feige says Avengers Secret Wars will, quote, really lead us into a new age of mutants and the X-Men. Again, it's one of these dreams come true. We finally have the X-Men back. This is from Deadline. We've been talking about this for a long time.
He's finally opening it up.
Right. It's the.
What was this at? He was like on a big TV screen or something like that, like zooming in. So these like hosts like asking questions. Like, what was that?
I genuinely don't know. I didn't read that part. I just kind of
I watched like 2 minutes of a 18-minute video of it, but I stopped because I think I saw all the tweets of like the major things that he said.
That's so.
And it was
funny.
Obviously largely X-Men related, but also Fantastic Four.
Do you feel
to me that's the most exciting thing?
You think? Wait. You think Fantastic Four is the most exciting thing?
Well, it has to be. It's the most tangible, realistic thing on the horizon.
Just because it is the next shot and film and like coming.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's done.
It's coming next. It's coming soon.
It's baked. It's baked and ready.
They are, and that what I mean. Like the casting choices, the era it's set in, right? Kevin Feige loves Fantastic Four, Marvel First Family.
Yeah,
you got Galactus, the main villain. But you got Dr. Doom, and you got Robert Downey Jr. though is tied to that role.
Yeah, what a weird scenario that is. Yeah,
how exciting is that?
No, I would.
So for me,
not so much.
Well, I mean, he won.
It's certainly interesting.
He won an Oscar just recently.
Yeah,
it's just weird. You think you just gotta you gotta think Kevin Feige is the old MCU, right? RDJ.
Yeah, but he's not without his blemishes now. We're now in an era where they've had their, as Deadpool famously said, you're joining at a low point.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Right? And that's okay. I'm just saying, like, you can't just say, like, well, if Kevin Feige is doing it, it has to be good. That's not necessarily true anymore, is what I'm saying.
No, I just think it's a very... I mean, we already talked about the RDJ bringing it back, but again, I just want to remind people it's a very big swing, and I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
is. It
going to
could
pay off.
totally
I
fail.
think it's going to make sense.
Well, I mean, I know it'll make sense. I just whether that'll be satisfying. I think
either way, that's
question.
that's the closest thing to us for the MCU Marvel, a big movie, right? Or is there something else I'm missing?
Yeah, you are missing one. I'll give you
Which
a
one?
second. What is your best guess for what the
Is it a show or
actual
a
next
movie?
big one? It is a movie.
Oh, Kraven the Hunter.
No, oh man, it's a funny guess though.
That's Sony though.
Yeah, no. Think, Jeremy. It also features
That's,
Harrison Ford.
oh, right, Captain America.
Yeah.
True. When does that one come out?
Like any day now. Like,
No.
is it the spring?
Is it this
Is it a
year?
spring
I feel
movie?
like it's next year.
It's next year. I think it's like February.
Yeah,
What
that's
is that?
insane. They just shot out so many trailers and they all sucked.
They didn't all
And
suck.
then they
The one with
slowly started showing more Red Hulk and
the one
Harrison
with
Ford.
the like the flashing like giant blocks of text like where it goes black like back and forth.
Yeah, like they're just trying to put like a snappy, like,
It's a good trailer.
slick editing style over it, and then trying to revert back to Winter Soldier vibes of like the whole espionage political type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
They
cool
made no
that, like,
secret about that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but it just, I don't know, doesn't look that
You feel
good.
like it feels forced to you, or is it?
It doesn't look that good.
I
think it's cool. I think the Harrison Ford parts look cool, like interesting. I want, like, him as the president's very, very cool. What does this whole Red Hulk mean? Like, that's very cool for sure. Like, it's not that I'm not gonna watch it.
I tell you this though, I am excited about getting more Harrison Ford on the red carpet and like press tour stuff for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, you thought he was an old curmudgeon, but now you realize
he
he's
is an old
very
curmudgeon.
exciting. No, he's not.
He literally is.
He jokes around nonstop.
I mean, he can be an
He
old curmudgeon who can still be aware
says
of the fact that he has that.
no, if he's going to be at a presser and a paid person on the microphone is going to ask him who shot Greedo first or whatever,
Yeah,
the question
obviously.
he's going to, he makes fun of the situation when it happens. He just like he just like answers in a different way, and it's funny.
No,
he's
he
not
said
like
other
trying
things
to get
too.
home and nap. He's making these movies.
It's true. He does seem like he's excited about being in the Marvel stuff though, which is a fun idea.
Yeah, I watched some of the panels of all of them, like Giancarlo Esposito, Harrison Ford. There's that Spanish actor.
Seth Rollins, Rosa Salazar.
Was he there? I don't know. There's like a group of them, and it was just cool seeing them all interact and just like talk about their time making the movie. But they're all just happy and jazzed to be there because they're in a Marvel movie, and they're there.
Yeah, I mean,
and they got Harrison Ford.
I would,
and that's all they kept touting. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Even the main Anthony Mackie. It's like we got Harrison Ford.
It's funny that they have Giancarlo Esposito in this movie, but like he's just such a minor like bit player.
And he's part of like the Serpent Society or something like that, which is insane.
Well, yes, I think so. Which is fun. Call back to the original, like, was it Captain America 2? Was originally supposed to be a Serpent Society movie?
3. Yeah,
right.
It's like there's like crazy theories with DC and Marvel at the time with Batman vs Superman and Civil War and like the similarities between the storylines and threads there and whatnot. But there's like crazy theories where people think Jeff Johns like leaked it to Kevin Feige because they're friends.
Really?
And
That's
like
funny.
took the stories. Like, I don't know. Yeah, obviously those are crazy, but it's funny to see all those theories.
Yeah, it's a different time. We know a lot more about how these movies are made now than I think we knew back then, to be honest. I mean, the thing about Captain America is that it's been basically done for a while, but they didn't feel like it was the right time to release it. They've done a bazillion reshoots. It certainly has a lot going against it, I think, in terms of like, will this movie be good?
The whole Deadpool low point. This is one of those movies that could be into that because the low point has been since
during
when,
that
right?
time.
Like,
yeah, because there's still movies and stuff.
And it's not even just low point. It's just like low Marvel entries, like the Winter Soldier show.
Well, there does feel like there's a bit of entropy. Like there is some momentum was lost, right? Don't mention Moon Knight. Moon Knight's actually not that
the
bad.
Marvels. Captain Marvel
Like, also
2
not that
bombed.
bad. Yeah, I know. After making $1 billion,
I have that on 4K,
there's no
which is
guarantees anymore.
hilarious.
Yeah, that is funny because have you even seen it?
No, but I collect all Marvel movies and shows. Like I have all of them,
regardless of whether you're going to watch them or not.
Yeah, I'm missing Ghost Rider 2 on Blu-ray.
Uh-huh.
I'm missing all the Punishers. Classic. I don't have a single Punisher movie on.
Okay, speaking of which, do you think Punisher's going to appear in
100%.
Daredevil Born Again?
I think it's already been leaked. John Bernthal's back for sure.
John Bernthal is easily becoming one of my favorite actors.
And he just had one season as Punisher? His own season?
He had one season as the show Punisher. And it was
and that show has so many memes.
Wait, actually, hold on. I think there might be two seasons.
That's nuts. Like, there's no Blu-ray for that, I don't think.
Well, it's a Netflix show, so it's like they're so rarely released physically. And then it's like, remember they were like taken down from, oh man, that's true. There is 2 seasons and they each had 13 episodes, Jeremy. They came out nuts. 2 years apart.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like that's something I would watch if I had the Blu-ray, I feel like.
Me too. I mean, I genuinely, like, especially now having a lot much more like,
it's so respect, dark, but just like, so much killing.
And then him struggling with the killing, like that whole, I feel like Punisher is primed to play a big role, or at least play an interesting role. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's the right time to make
John Bernthal is just an all-star.
Yeah.
He's a triple A.
Was he nominated for an Oscar last year for that tennis movie?
Probably. So. He was great in there.
So. Yeah.
Everything he's in is great.
Wait, was that last year? The Serena Williams movies were last. Was that last year or the year before?
I have no idea. Last year was Oppenheimer, wasn't it?
And that just sucked up all the energy from the room. Yeah. But that was the best coast.
The Will Smith slap?
Well, it might have been the slap year because wasn't Will Smith in that tennis movie?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. So it was 2 years ago then, I think. Or 3? Fuck. Okay. I don't know. I just remember John Bernthal being good. That's the takeaway. And if you've been watching The Bear, which I don't know, Jeremy, have you been watching that?
No.
But it's so good. He has a smaller role in that show, but it's every time he's on screen, he just steals the show. It's his on-screen presence is like captivating. His voice is so cool. And then whenever you hear him speak as like just himself as an actor, whether it's on Hot Ones or whatever, he always comes across as like a genuinely like very intense person, no doubt. He seems like a very intense person, but like a cool, thoughtful, good person. So yeah, big fan of John Bernthal.
He has a podcast.
Oh, he does his own?
Yeah.
Do I like him enough to listen to his podcast? I feel like I wouldn't.
You just to do that. Finished like praising him, and then
yeah, I know. And then I put myself in this box, and I'm thinking like, I feel like it would make me like him less, and I'm happy with the amount I like him now. You know, like I get excited about seeing I wouldn't say he's like a movie star, but he's like, I think he's getting there. So okay, so back to the original comment. Are you glad that we're now in this era where we can just talk about X-Men coming to the MCU, that we're not beating around the bush anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about them for a while. And the rumors of Secret Wars and Hugh Jackman and Toby and Andrew, all that stuff is all going to interlace with the X-Men if Hugh and the OGs are back. So it's very exciting. This is what we need.
The time is now. We need.
Yeah. I think I saw something where Michael Fassbender said if they asked him to come back, he would, or something like that. It's like these are the bits and pieces.
Fassbender here, right? You're pro Fassbender, Magneto.
I mean,
he's no
so
Kellen,
okay.
But
So we're also in an era where we have these established heroes over this like modern era that like bleeds from the 2000s
Right.
era
Basically
with
from
like
X-Men
Blade,
forward.
with like
Yeah.
Blade, yeah, like
You
and
think?
like
Well,
Blade
actually, yeah,
obviously
you're right.
coming
For
back.
Blade,
That's
Blade
what I
is
mean,
first.
right?
Yeah.
So and then Toby with his Spider-Man movies and Hugh and X-Men and
I guess
all
people
these things
talk
have
about. Sorry to interrupt. I mean, people talk about
yeah.
the X-Men, the first as being kind of the dawn of the modern action, like
Mhm.
superhero action movie. But I think
Right.
it's probably more. It's Blade should probably get that
Yeah.
like
And
crown.
Ryan Reynolds has been vocal about that, and obviously,
Yeah.
he was instrumental in bringing Wesley back, and then seeing that, it's just so crazy and iconic.
It's only
And then
one
even
blade.
Hugh,
Yep.
obviously. So to me, I think it's just so exciting having all these worlds collide kind of towards like almost like the ending of like the RDJ kind of MCU, like what it's always been from, very good. And then it's like, okay. And then it's downfall, then good again with certain movies like, Spider-Man 3 or Doctor Strange 2.
You're talking about
Type of
are you talking about
Wolverine.
superheroes and movies in general, or
Well, mostly
the
Marvel.
Marvel side of things? Yeah.
Mostly Marvel.
DCs have been on a very different trajectory.
Oh,
It's
totally
like
different.
it's a roller coaster over there, right? You have some amazing movies and some terrible ones, and some really good ones that were nominated for Oscars, some win Oscars. Like, say what you will about the Marvel movies, the only Oscars they win is for best visual effects, really, editing, the below the line performances, and or work. They have had nominees, right, for best supporting actor and like Wakanda, and supporting actress, I think, and that's, and I think wasn't Boseman posthumously nominated and stuff like that. So they've had their moments, but I feel like they haven't worn the like the crown of like, this is what movie, like The Dark Knight, I think has set this like really high bar for, superhero movie quality, right? And then you had the Joker
Yeah.
winning stuff, right? So whether you can take that movie for what whatever, whether you liked it, it didn't, whatever, it still was winning Oscars. So but yeah, no, Marvel has been on a much kind of like different trajectory even than DC has, without maybe the kind of accolades. Sorry, I don't know how that ties into what you were saying exactly, but I wanted to add it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
To add it. Okay, you were
I don't
talking
know
about, let me get you back on track. You were talking about how we're in this era now where it's kind of all happening at once, the old and the new.
Yeah,
right?
when we were in an era where we're almost like done with the old and wanted new. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think that was, but that might have been mostly for DC as well. Like that was kind of like, because they kind of strung it along for a long period of time.
Well, they were
With like,
releasing like movies like Harley Quinn. What was that?
or even Shazam 1 and 2, which were still tied to like the
Right.
previous continuity, right? 'Cause that's
Yeah.
another big conversation happening now with James Gunn.
Well, there
and
was
what
a
he's
world
doing
where
moving
continuity
forward.
wasn't really even considered important, right? They made weird changes between X-Men movies that make no sense continuity wise, and then they had to fix it all later. It's like,
What I wanted to say was casting. So with this whole like kind of legacy of all this stuff that's kind of like coming back, and some people are like, oh, he's back again. He's back, like Toby and Andrew and all that stuff, and Hugh, Blade, even Gambit, to a different scenario, but still, it's almost like these dream come true. Like they're all coming back. So like a Michael Fassbender, it's like, who, at the top of your head, like who would you even choose to replace a Michael Fassbender, like a young or like a middle-aged like Magneto? It's like, how do you even approach that?
Well,
right?
I mean,
this is
the problem.
And you look at DC, right, with like Henry Cavill, just like so much in the news, right? Or just like in the culture, it seems, of like, people think he's Superman or whatever.
Is he making a Warhammer movie?
I don't know. But
thing?
next year we're getting the new Superman movies, and that's James Gunn bringing like a total different tone to the typical darker tone, or like the Christopher Nolan-esque, that kind of bled into the Snyder kind
You're
of.
certainly concerned. You do seem like you're more concerned that they're not going to nail it tonally.
No, I think it'll be a very cool movie or whatever, like, but it'll have a
Mm,
different tone that I don't know if people are expecting. Um, and then we'll just see how that lands, right? And see how people expect or accept a new casting of such a
right.
person who's within that legacy that we're kind of wrapping from like Wesley to like,
Right.
Andrew in the middle and then Tom later. Like it's all kind of this one huge multiverse thing on both sides. And then it's
Well,
interesting to see DC how they're gonna like foray that with a brand new kind of reboot. But then it's slowly tied in with like James Gunn's older stuff that's also slowly tied in with the stuff before that. So then the continuity is kind of like just he doesn't want you to think about it really anymore because he
yeah,
says
I
that
mean,
they're not real, and it's like it's true, but
yeah, I mean,
it's
it's
just
fair enough,
it's
but
be fascinating to see how it's all kind of all accepted
I, I, I
by
do
the
think it's
audience.
like I think it's a cop out to sell to make movies where the expectation is you suspend your disbelief and you get attached to these characters and you care about their outcomes, and then out of the other side of your mouth say, well, it's all make believe. It's like, well, yeah, no, we all know that. But to
So
use
you
that as
don't like
a
that quote from him?
no, I don't. I think it's
Yeah,
cheap.
people are saying like this is embarrassing for DC. The state of DC is not cheap. So that's the thing. It's
But
not taking it
I don't think
seriously.
cheap and like it doesn't look good or not this. I just
Well,
think that it's
I
not
think
fair
it'll
to
be
say
good.
that.
It could be a cool Superman movie, sure, but like to have this mentality over like everything moving forward at DC, like how do you think that's going to make people like engage with all of your products? Like, are these really going to turn this profit or whatever that's going to
Well,
make
I
you
think there is
continue to go this route?
there is a lot
Like,
of
he should have
people
called it
who are
Superman
looking
Legacy,
to
but he's
hate.
actually just calling it Superman.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's a big deal. Why is that a big deal?
I think it should have just been Superman Legacy. I think that was cool.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I just don't think that's a. I don't know if there's anything more to see about that other than it's easier to sell just Superman than it is to sell Superman
Yeah.
Legacy. That's probably what it comes down to. I would say there's a large group of people who are looking to find things to not like about the DC, the Superman Legacy stuff. Really picking at it. And fair enough, but I don't know how much more he could really do when there's that much. This is the same as the Star Wars situation. It's like you're kind of between a rock and a hard place, pissing off some group or another. It is interesting though when you're like, you can compare and contrast between how DC versus Marvel do things. They always both of them talk about how they're just
Yeah.
concentrated on what they're doing. They don't care about what the other people are doing, and I think it's easy to say that, especially if you're losing, especially from the cultural standpoint.
I mean,
DC case,
with DC, like obviously we're very familiar with it.
the
So
characters, the
I
lore,
just find
right?
it, well, yeah, and also the business side or the movie making side
Sure.
of these creators at the helm. So, and that's what you're, kind of alluding to in terms of there's a group of people or whatever. But to
Mm-hmm.
me, I would consider like I just find it so interesting to just see, okay, like let's see what this is really made of. Let's see what you got. But as we move along, there's all these little tidbits of information or quotes that just are just so funny and kind of like fuel the fire. Like maybe not super intentionally, but like maybe also it could be like
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of reading
every
into it.
release that James Gunn has over like what he's talking about Superman Legacy, it's always tied to some super emotional like time in his life or whatever, like the death of his father or something like that. Like, do you remember all those like kind of?
I know it doesn't ring. It doesn't really, but I mean, it's
But
not
it's
that
like every time
surprising
it's like
necessarily.
nobody gives a shit about that. Like it's a tweet. Like James Gunn's literally coming out there. Like imagine like your favorite director, like these really good directors like Christopher Nolan or like it's like they would never in a million years go on Twitter and say
Well,
the
it's very
things that
different.
James Gunn is saying. And then
I
there's like
think
other it's like just make the damn movie,
I think ultimately he would probably save himself a lot of heartache if he just
right? Like the
disappeared to
whole
make
narrative that
that
he
movie.
lies all the time is so funny because it's like all these tweets, and then he has the whole deleting the tweets his thing now that he does. He's like, hey, he's like, all my like because of like the whatever tweets that he had before, I guess. But then like there's all these tweets that people still save where he says like all these contradictory things about like about DC or about
I
like
just think
other
that
directors.
he's just saying too much, because obviously
Yeah,
things
saying too
change
much.
during the
Right.
process of making a movie. So it's like, he's not a liar. It's just like
No.
things
And then
changed.
someone was some sort of story over like the screen testing for Henry Cavill's suit, how like the new guy was so big he tore the suit in
Oh
half
yeah,
or
I remember
something
that.
like
People were
that.
upset that it's like, oh, it's so
And
disrespectful. It's like, what do you
and
mean?
then like another actor who like auditioned, someone asked if he did, and like James Gunn came out of nowhere on Twitter and was like, yeah, he did, and he tore the suit up even more or something like that. It's like, what is the point in talking about the suit
I
being
don't
torn
know.
up?
It doesn't make sense, but it is. I think
It's like
there's
I
an
feel
element
like
of
they're
trolling.
focusing on all the
I
raw.
think he's trolling a little bit, to be
100% because
honest. Yeah.
he's on there, he's deciding to tweet these things, right? Because everyone
Yeah.
talks about the him casting his wife or whatever and all the DC projects, and like nobody cares about her character in the DC world, as well as that like Steve Agee guy or whatever, like that fat
Oh
guy with
yeah.
glasses who like
He's
who, I
cool.
guess he voiced the shark guy and or no, he mocap the King Shark or whatever, and Sylvester
Really?
Stallone voiced
For
him.
Sylvester Stallone's voice.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then he's
Sylvester
in Creature
Stallone doing that
Commandos.
voice is like one of the best like little tidbits of like movie knowledge. Do you remember that movie where Sylvester Stallone voiced a talking shark? It's so
Yeah,
funny
I
to
don't know
just
if
think
it's that
about that.
memorable, but I guess it's
It
cool.
just, it's not that memorable, but
He's also in
to
Guardians though, isn't he? Or Guardians 2 or 3
yeah,
or something like that.
he's one of the Ravagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Why
yeah,
I
it just
remember
I
that,
mean,
I don't
like
know.
it's cool. Like, yeah, it's just like, dude, like James Gunn is heading the DC universe. It's like, hey, that's sweet, but like we had something going and like that sucks that we can't keep doing that. But yeah, we should just be super happy and just like accept this new David
No,
Corn
there's a
Sweat
difference
thing.
between being
That's
super
all. No,
happy
I'm
and not
saying that's all it
accepting.
is. And then the online, if you're chronically online, if you want to feed into that energy, you're going to see it, you're going to interact with it. You've definitely done that. You're a victim of that
I'm
interaction,
the big.
right?
Well, that's why I got off.
Correct?
Jeremy,
Come
I
on.
got off Twitter, and my
Yes.
life is
Where
better
you
now.
speak about
It's
these
blue
things?
sky.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is I was never at that level of like having to get there and defend or do this or
Well, it just
I
feels
felt like
like,
it was all just tricks and bait and all this stuff. Because at the end of the day, it was a business move, and in business, like there's shitty decisions. And WB Warner Brothers made a ton of shitty decisions that we've clearly seen leaked from behind the scenes over all the drama.
oh yeah, no doubt.
So it's just
I think it stems from
I'm
bad
not
leadership
I'm
from
not
not
just gonna all of
above
a
Warner
sudden
Brothers.
for sure. So it's like that's why you have a bunch of people who are not all of a sudden just be on board after just dismantling everything that came before it, which is from an era of like the Christopher Nolan produced DC movies.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Where Snyder had his hits and what he was doing, and then like look at the Snyder cut. The Justice League movie is so epic. I watch that movie probably like once every like 4 months, or well, I guess once a year maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
think there's an element of like, it's. I think
just
he would like you to embrace change. I think that's
yeah.
what he's trying to say. And people
There's no for yeah,
hate
but for
that
me
message. They
for me
reject
with
that
like
message
for me and
all the
my way
time.
of like superhero movies, I'm not. There's no like I know what DC kind of looks like, and I know what Marvel kind of looks like, and then and James Gunn's DC is cool and all, but it's like it's more Marvel-esque to me rather than that Christopher Nolan Dark Knight energy, Man of Steel energy
Sure.
that I want from DC. That's it. So I don't. It's not about me not wanting to. I don't have to consume whatever is next. And we
No,
all
I
have the
guess.
internet,
I
and you
think
can
they're
be vocal
asking,
about whatever you want.
right.
And you don't
Yes,
have
I
to
think
ask me. All they're asking for is money. That's I don't
they're
need to
asking
give
for
them
your
money.
attention for, yes, they want to say, hey,
That's all I'm
we're
saying.
trying something new. Give us a shot.
I don't. Yeah,
That's
but
all they're saying. And you're
that's
saying
not all
they
they're
don't
saying.
even, they've never
No,
even
no, no.
run, they haven't even run that.
You're missing all the context before that. We're trying something new. It's all business decisions that were all terrible leading to this, and they want it to be a clean slate, but it's not. It's not working out for them
It's too
because in
messy.
the legacy of casting and these
Right.
character actors, they got rid of some major players, and they're trying to just do a new one, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I
I
guess. I
think we
mean,
can see that kind of leading into it, and it doesn't look good if I'm going to be honest. But if
I
we're
think we have
reading
to wait to the
internet,
trailer. We're really not going to have a real sense of it until we see the trailer, right?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we've seen Guy Gardner's wig, so
Right. Okay. Well, listen, everything looks stupid in set
But
photos.
okay, so to move past that, the casting of Jon Stewart
right,
is very interesting.
I agree. Do you
Which
like
is
it?
funny because I do. So
Okay.
so to me, this is a nice clean window into the potential possibility of a clean James Gunn slate kind of world where it's
Mm-hmm.
not
Right.
stringing along his wife or John Cena
Right. Hey,
and
don't talk
you know what
down
I
John
mean?
Cena. John Cena is great in
Right.
like a Peacemaker is amazing, and John Cena in everything he's in
Yeah.
is great. So
But again,
keep this name out your mouth.
there is another shot from James Gunn within this news of this casting.
A shot from
James Gunn.
him, okay, like in like a trolley kind of shot. Okay, what is
Correct.
it? Lay it on me.
He tweeted out like something about how through just like a horrendous or like a long, grueling audition process,
Right. Mm-hmm.
they found this man, and this guy was in Netflix's like #1 like movie,
Right.
Rebel Ridge, which I had watched.
Okay. Which again, you told me
Right.
about that, which is like
Yeah.
you've
Because
watched these
I thought the
random
guy
movies.
was,
It's so
I
funny.
thought this
Yeah.
guy was so striking looking,
He
and
had a certain presence in his
he
trailer.
totally gives off the vibes of a Jon Stewart from like the animated series.
Right. Okay.
Uh,
Cool.
you know what I mean? In terms of his
Mm-hmm.
look, maybe not like the sound of his
Well,
voice or
I mean, sure. There's obviously, if you have imagined it just purely on the voice, no. But I think from character perspective, even his character, like ex-military,
yeah,
like it's
yes,
cool. Right?
exactly,
Yeah, you
yeah.
can see it.
His stoic nature, kind of his,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, like I'm like
and
okay,
obviously he's like a striking looking
yeah,
black
the
dude.
blue,
It's like
basically has
obviously,
blue
right,
eyes, yeah. But
right.
then there was like a bunch of drama online too, which I didn't agree with, which was like he's not black enough. There was a whole
Yeah,
contingent online.
I think that's mostly a joke. I don't think
Yeah,
that's there's
I
no
thought that
way.
was I thought that was like, are we okay to laugh at this one type thing?
Right, like okay, maybe that's
But so the
poking fun
shot
at all the other
was
stuff.
the whole super long and grueling
Right, right. Because
thing. It's like
obviously, yeah.
you son of a bit, because with
You can't call him a son of a bitch, but that's
no,
funny.
because
That's a good
no,
troll.
I guess so, but it's like it's so unfortunate because of the Green Lantern scene that was shot for the Snyder cut.
Right. Okay.
Such an iconic piece of the whole story because he shot it in his backyard or whatever. But then I was listening to a podcast with the actor who is he was like a stage theater actor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he was friends with Ray Fisher, Cyborg,
Right.
who recommended it to Zach. So I watched a podcast that this guy was on because they could kind of like he kind of like come out and kind of talk about his experience because Zach had like I guess posted some images or whatever.
Right, he like opened up it.
Yeah, he had some images of even like the behind the scenes of him in like the gray dot suit or whatever, and he had his like Jon Stewart like fade, like the military fade, like in the cartoon. And I'm like, what a cool like little piece, but like he basically said that the studio just wouldn't. They said no, this is the one thing that you can't have in the movie, like the singular one thing. And he said that their reason was because they have their own plans for Green Lantern. And at the time, their plans were that HBO show,
Right.
with like a different actor. It was like it was gonna be Guy Gardner, I think, was the main character or something like that.
I remember it being very like it's similar to the version we're getting now, which is like it's a cop show, but
Well, the other one was supposed to be over a different time. It's supposed to be like they would focus on other like different lanterns through different time periods or whatever.
Okay.
And they had a casted guy as Guy Gardner already, like as like one of the main guys. So where's it going with this?
Well, I just think you think that James Gunn's again trolling at this specific thing. There's no way. I think that's a stretch.
Okay. One second. Back up. So what I'm saying is, it's so unfortunate to not get that Green Lantern scene released from that actor who it would have been like his kind of break essentially, but it wasn't just some random kind of acquaintance that Zach just like threw in there, because through the podcast, the actor revealed that Zach had called him on I think 5 or 6 different occasions to just have conversations with him, ranging from like basically like 45 minutes to an hour and a half. So I thought like just in that alone, that kind of behind the scenes kind of look into what Zach is trying to accomplish with the actor, or just kind of get to know him. And they would talk about Green Lantern, a bunch of different topics. Obviously, if it's hours of conversation. So what I felt from it, and even from the images of the actor, it's like, holy cow! Like we've already talked about Zack Snyder's ability, or we have about casting. Just such a crazy array of different choices, whether you agree with them some or not. Like obviously, for you, Ezra Miller. But like for some, Jason Momoa, right?
Also,
that
Lex
one could
Luthor.
be on or off. Yeah, Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
But Jason Momoa could be hot or cold for some people, but like kind of turned out to be a huge thing.
Universally,
Gal Gadot obviously changed her life, and she was super popular. But then the second movie had nothing to do with him, remember, and a whole different regime that led into kind of what we have now.
The second movie has easily the coolest trailer ever made.
Right. One of them.
And the music alone is so sick.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, either way, just hearing the kind of behind the scenes of that Jon Stewart kind of what we could, and that scene exists, we just can't see it for legal reasons. And then for James Gunn to say a long and grueling process when he just saw the guy on Netflix and everybody on Twitter was photoshopping him and
right, it was
and saying he's Jon Stewart. Yeah. Like it literally happened. It was Rebel Ridge was released. Jon Stewart fan casting was all over the internet.
To be fair, whoa. To be fair, there was news stories out that they were in the process of casting Green Lantern before Rebel Ridge came out.
Right, so but that was even before Jon Stewart. That was when Thanos was in the mix to be Hal Jordan.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Josh Brolin. And then Josh Brolin was on a podcast that I watched yesterday because he's on some tour for something. He's all over the place on Rogan, on a bunch. And he's saying they never even like contacted him for it or something like that. It's just like literally like a made up thing.
It's just like, well, I think this happens in Hollywood where they like leak names so that they get
or like they may have contacted his agent or something. Like who knows?
They're like they would like, hey, we talked to so and so's agent about this role, and then that like perks up. It's like the classic Sly Schwarzenegger stuff where like.
But either way, I can say if you want like this whole hope and optimism and change and moving forward, it's like okay, we literally had like Hans Zimmer and like all this crazy epic shit, and
we don't know.
Ben Affleck's Batman, like just good. That a dark side, like it's just you can't top it. But anyways, Lanterns is the only thing that I'm like kind of looking forward to. But then it's like Nolan, what's his name? Guy Gardner Green Lantern is going to be the Guy Gardner that's going to be opposed to this.
It's not Nolan North. I know that, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
that is our Guy Gardner to stand amongst the four human lanterns.
I mean, I like him. I mean, you don't like him as an actor?
But he's like he's
Fillion.
57. Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess.
And then our Hal Jordan is what's his name? Which is what's his name? Hal Jordan. They casted the guy, the coach from Friday Night Lights, the TV show.
Wait. Well, first of all, I never watched. Is that a show that I should be watching? By the way,
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
If you want to get into that football mindset again, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Cool. So is that when you were watching it?
No, I watched it years later.
Okay.
Even after Mustangs, I think I watched it.
Okay.
But it's definitely sweet.
Kyle Chandler, yes.
Kyle Chandler is James Gunn's DCU's
here's the thing,
Hal Jordan.
I think you're fair to have these concerns. I think it ultimately all comes down to how it comes across on screen. And furthermore, I would say we need to give James Gunn a little bit of credit because his casting for the Guardians movies was good, right? So we got to give him.
Although Gamora recently said that she wishes she could redo her role differently.
Really? Why?
Or maybe that was just an Endgame or something like that. I don't know. She was doing an interview too where she said she didn't really quite get something
from Guardians 3.
I don't know, or one of the Avengers movies, maybe.
Okay. Well, it might have been about
her, that was fascinating.
Like, super weird, like kind of timey-wimey coming back to life situation that I think might confuse. But if you're not a big comic book nerd, be like, excuse me, what's happening? These people from a different universe coming, and then it's like, yeah, that could be confusing. I don't know. I'm doing a lot of like effort and work here to defend these perspectives and giving them the benefit of the doubt. I don't really care that much.
No, I'm just saying
But
I'm excited for Lanterns, even though it's like I do like Kyle Chandler,
you
I do
have
like
some
Nathan Fillion,
concerns. Yeah.
but the only good one is this Rebel Ridge actor. It's like, man, that's spot on. That's like something like that could fit into even the previous regime as well as a
100%.
Jon Stewart. Like,
is there a universe where DC could be leveraging their legacy actors in a less cynical way than they did obviously already with like the Burton stuff, like they did in The Flash? Obviously that movie's terrible, but
that's the wrong way. No, they're not. That's not what they should be doing.
Okay, no, whoa. I'm not saying what they should be doing, but like I'm imagining a universe where the roles are reversed. Marvel is casting; they have the opportunity to start doing this soon. Do you cast new actors or legacy actors for the X-Men? Right. DC is going through this phase right now. They're casting new actors for characters that we've seen played by other people, but they do have legacy actors out there that they could fill some of these roles. When's the right time to use the legacy actor versus not, I guess is the question.
I don't know. It just depends on the character and it just depends on who we're talking about. There's not that many.
Should we be moving away from that entirely? I think my general sense is that I think
for Marvel,
it's a gimmick and we should be moving away from it.
Yeah, but for Marvel, it works.
Well,
for the tone that they have. Well, it just worked with Hugh coming back for Deadpool.
Sure.
And the cameos that were in there. There's rumors that Channing Tatum's getting a Gambit movie.
Man, I
people
hope
like Gambit.
I know that's.
What do you mean?
I know.
People want a Gambit movie.
I don't.
Gambit movie
it's
cool.
silly. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. I'm going to say it right now. I love Channing Tatum. I do. I think he's a really funny actor. But that's why I think the Gambit stuff worked so much because it was so funny.
With the X-Men legacy actors, it just makes sense. And then they already have some of their recasted people in terms of McAvoy and Fassbender.
So I think those two will be the X. Do you think
those two actors would come back in a heartbeat? I've seen
they don't have anything else going on.
I'm only saying both because I've seen an interview with McAvoy where he basically said he hasn't been talked to, but he just adores Charles,
right?
And he just he talks about like the down, like the movie that was down, like the last one, like
the good
that
and the
broke
bad,
him. And then like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure there was a statement from Fassbender saying that he would come back. So you have those two kind of at the helm, and then you just kind of go from there in terms of like casting a new like Psylocke or a new Jubilee or something. You know what I mean? And then even a new Cyclops, a new all that, or you bring that actor who was already Cyclops in those movies back too, if he's on the same level or like fan worthy of like a McAvoy and a Fassbender.
But you could never do 2000 Cyclops. You can't bring Marsden back.
No, but Marsden comes back initially in terms of the Hugh dynamic for Secret Wars and Toby and Andrew coming back and Blade Wesley's coming back. You kidding me?
Right. So for there it works. So
of course it works. It's an established legacy.
Yeah, but I get that, and I understand
they did it right.
The multiversal stuff that they
DC isn't about. They try to do it in the Flash with it just doesn't work.
It was bad.
Like those '90s Batman movies were over them. We got Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan. We got Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. We're moving forward in that mythological.
We're not talking about Ben Affleck.
Imagine, like no one's saying Robert Pattinson's better than it's just like they're two different ones, right? Like it's going to go down the history books. Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be hard to be topped for sure.
I mean, I don't want to get into that debate. I mean, I'm just saying that in general, I guess maybe because the lines are they seem to be drawn with much darker ink in the DC. Like these are the Dark Knight movies. Like Christian Bale's never going to play Batman again, right? Like,
no.
Are we pretty comfortable saying that?
Yeah, that's not what you would want.
Right. It'd be weird. He literally retired in the last movie. Mm-hmm. So it makes no sense.
Christopher Nolan has accepted that he's done with Batman for sure.
Right.
But he was interested. Yeah. He was interested in recreating that magic with Superman in a producing role.
Right.
Right. And that's what he did.
Do you think Zach or do you think it was Nolan that picked out that piece of music from Lord of the Rings to use in the first trailer for
The
Man
piece
of
of what?
That piece of music from Lord of the Rings, the choral, oh, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
That's from Lord of the Rings. It's used in the first teaser for.
Yeah, I know Zach's
Steel.
super into music too, and like he has some pretty cool choices for some of the some trailers he's made, like with Watchmen and even some of the music in there.
Yeah.
So who knows?
It's just I love that they use like the most beautiful piece of music from Lord of the Rings for that. It's such a cool choice.
Well, even the main Man of Steel trailer is probably one of the greatest trailers of all time.
Oh, when we get the Man of Steel theme for the first time, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, like the whole trailer. I think you even get Russell Crowe in the beginning there, kind of like him just like seeing the destruction.
I've watched that trailer, Jeremy,
Zod.
1,000 times. I remember distinctly the swing, swinging, and there's like long grass. Yeah, I remember it. I remember it all.
Yeah, and that's all it's meant to be, right? This iconography that's just like it has this grittiness to it, this realism that like is coming from the Nolan verse, but I'm going to expand it a bit more. It's going to be more in your face and more epic and more, mythological, godlike, right? And like a lot of people don't like that take, and that is why it's so divisive to this day. And we're getting the opposite side of that, and that's cool. It's totally cool. We'll see.
Yeah,
that's it.
You keep saying
and we're just getting closer and closer, right? But
I mean, they're saying do you think we get a trailer at the Super Bowl? That'd be February.
Yeah, there's some sort of rumor that mid-December is the leak. For some reason, they're getting us ready for a mid-December Superman trailer.
That seems odd, but I don't think there's any like big holiday movies this year, so maybe they feel like they can steal some of that. Well, don't you want to be in front of big Hollywood like blockbuster holiday movies if you're going to drop a new trailer? Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but this movie's coming out the same day as Fantastic Four.
Jeremy, I guarantee you that won't be this case. They won't do that. It's stupid. It's bad for both.
I'm pretty sure that's what's happening, dude. Fantastic Four is going to be a juggernaut.
Yeah, that's why they're definitely going to move. And then people are going to make fun of
do or die, and so is Superman. But I don't think James Gunn's treating it like that because he knows he has a good story. It's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. But
you think he could also stop in his tracks? Like that'd be like he's got a plan, but it's not going to get off the ground if it sucks so much.
I don't know.
Or if it's not,
I don't know. Enough. I think it's going to be cool. I don't know. I just don't know if I don't know. It's weird.
Well,
I don't know if I was ever down. I don't know if I was ever down for like the MCU version of DC to have this like super long, like 20-year. This is, you know what I mean? This is this is the Green Lantern. Like I liked kind of where we were going with like just maybe having the 5 or 6 movies of this from this year to this year. This is what happened when Batman forged the Justice League, and we have all these characters around it. We can build it out, but I don't think it was ever supposed to be what Kevin Feige did with the MCU with this never-ending.
Well, Zach was never going to do it for that long.
It was never supposed to be that, right. But that was the comparison because the other side they got off. They were up and running and moving, and that was what the audience accepted as what a superhero kind of event or movie would do for you.
It caused a lot of chaos.
And then you go
to be different and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go into DC, and then like you have this roaring start with Man of Steel, this kind of epic, kind of real.
You never get a proper sequel to.
And so that's also part of the business is that what they had to, because it's not going to be a proper sequel. We wanted to jump into the quote unquote MCU of our own. We got to get Batman in there. We're going to go right into that story and make
the BVS reveal was sick as fuck, though. I will say,
it was amazing with that actor too.
Cool.
Who ended up being Martian Manhunter in
it's so sick
in the Snyder Cut. That was cool. Yeah, it's just too unforgettable to me. And then for everyone to say, oh yeah, like it just didn't end up being whatever, like it let it die. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, cool. Like, where's the next thing? Why aren't we talking about what's supposed to be talking about? Why isn't, the Suicide Squad still, why we want another sequel of that?
I think there's a lot of,
so that's why Superman is the next big thing.
I think it's
Superman's the next big thing, and if that's your answer, I don't think you're going to get what the right answer. If you're putting
Man,
everything
if
on
they're
that
hoping
one
that it's
movie,
going to be $1 billion movie, then yeah, that's probably not going to happen. I mean, but
unless it's just
there's also a
shockingly
slim
good.
chance it could. There's a chance it could. We don't know, but it's more likely it won't. But my
And just
guess is
the
that
turnaround
DC is
time for
betting that
these
it doesn't
movies
have to
too.
be.
The turnaround time, like how, like the time that the CG guys have to like make their effects.
Well, I mean,
Like,
they've been shooting. They usually do that in parallel, and they do previs and all this other
yeah,
stuff. It's a different, Again, the other thing is with James Gunn movies, they always look good. So I'm not expecting
right.
this one to be any different. I'm willing to be proven wrong, but I mean,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like he's at least got that stuff
Mhm.
going. He casts well. He often uses too many needle drops, so hopefully that's not the case. And
In a Superman movie.
his movies look good. Yeah, but it has Mr. Terrific and stuff, so I'm sure there'll be needle drops.
And Hawk Girl.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this for a while. This has kind of been my going thing for basically when DC was struggling for a while, which is like, just drop these characters into a world where the DC universe is established. You can't start over. Yeah.
I do like that facet of it. Like, this is just a comic book you pick up and like, oh, all these heroes are in this situation right now for whatever reason, and now we're going to find out why, and then there's investigation to be done, and like that's all going to happen in this movie, and it's going to be sweet. You got Daily Planet, it's going to be a big mix and part of it. So yeah, I think maybe Ultraman might be in it, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, that's the thing. They're definitely going with like, there's going to be some weird stuff. It's going to lean into the fact that DC often does, like, their comics are weird as fuck, especially the like team up movies, right? Like, or stuff like the Crises and stuff. They're confusing and weird, and that's true at Marvel too in a slightly different way. And I think they're going to try to embrace that a little bit. Well, I don't know. Maybe people won't want that though. So I guess that's the question.
Yeah.
People might say, "Nah, it's too weird."
Well,
bro.
to me, it's like, I think it'll be cool for sure, but it's just, and I guess I'm just being biased with what was before, and like, I want to see that.
We'll definitely think it's cool. I think we will think it's cool because they're going to do the stuff that we expect to see in a comic book, and that's cool to us.
Right.
But is that cool to the average?
But then
audience?
and then it's like, where do we go from there? We just have a bunch of we'd have a Mr. Terrific movie now, and then just sell toys and merch. I think
he's got a plan. I don't think. I think there's a plan, and I think, as I said before, I don't think it needs to make $1 billion. I don't think they're counting on.
Yeah, see, that's also part of the conversation, though. It's like, why are people saying that? It's like, that's crazy to say these expectations. Lower them immediately, just so it's okay to say.
Well, I think it's based on the fact that people. It's not that crazy.
Think about how crazy
it's
that
two
you
sides
just
of the
said
same
that.
coin, Jeremy.
I can't believe you fell into
People
the trap.
No, whoa. Listen,
it doesn't need to make $1 billion. Wow,
it does. Why does it need to make $1 billion?
Why all of a sudden is this?
Because movies can be made profitably without needing to make that kind of money. We've talked about this before.
But then why? But then no, because the conversation is always BVS wasn't profitable but it didn't make $1 billion.
Well, was it profitable or not? Did it make like what?
That's the argument that people have, right? It's like, where do you decide where the profitability
it's got to be profitable.
is? How do you? Yeah,
but for Warner Brothers especially, it has to be profitable. But profitable doesn't need to be $1 billion to be profitable. Is what I'm saying. If you make the movie with the other side of the coin, Jeremy, is that people are saying it looks like it's cheap.
You're not going to get listened to.
If it looks cheap, it's probably being made for a slightly lower budget.
Yeah.
Which means it doesn't necessarily need to make $1
billion
to succeed.
It's still, you're just moving goalposts before it's even coming out to say that.
No, you're basing it off of the only information we have, which again, we don't have a trailer.
It's just crazy for you to think about it. It's crazy that you are willing to say that for whatever sake that you're trying to hold on to.
What the budget is?
That this movie does not need to make a particular amount of money.
It's not that crazy because we don't know what the budget is, and it doesn't look like it's that high.
And you shouldn't be saying that if you don't know the budget too.
Well, then why is it okay for someone to say it's cheap?
The movie needs to come out. The movie needs to come out, and we will judge it on the movie in its time and space.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
so we shouldn't put some sort of artificial goal of $1 billion, which is not.
I don't think you should be mentioning that and saying that that's a goalpost. That's fine.
Jeremy, for the record, I've always been a advocate for divorcing yourself from expectations. We've talked about this a million times, right? Divorce yourself from the expectations going into a movie and you'll have a better time. We've always talked about that. That's no different here. Again, as you said earlier, we shall see. It's only a matter of time. And next year, big year for superhero movies. I will bet you that Fantastic Four or Superman will move. I guarantee it. I don't know which one. Probably Superman.
Good luck.
That's my guess. It just doesn't make any sense. Why? It's stupid. It's not good for business either direction. On that note, we will wrap things up. As always, I've been Julian Mush, Jeremy Cozier, co-hosting. Make sure to subscribe if you're not doing so already, whatever podcast catcher of choice you have. Follow us and subscribe to our feeds on Blue Sky. Search for Tower of Babble Podcast on there. I'm still on Twitter, but I'm not really posting much on there. It is crazy, Jeremy. It's a very different vibe. Vibes are different. Anyway, at Tower Babblecast on X/Twitter and Facebook as well. And then again, this month for our Patreon exclusive film club, we will be doing, I have it written down, so just bear with me. We will be doing Frequency, the Gregory Hoblet film from 2000. So get that watch in, and we'll be reviewing that next week, sometime next week. Or maybe if not next week, then for sure the week after that. So again, that's on Patreon, patreon.com/Tower Babblecast. And then lastly, head over to the website, towerofbabble.ca. You'll find everything we do there. But again, if you don't want to do any of those other things, the best thing you could do for us is just leave us a nice review. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it might be, it makes a huge difference. Okay, thank you. We will be back very soon with more TOB, but until then, talk to you soon.